Hey everybody, hey YouTube, John Murphy here with a quick little tip I wanted to share with you. It's able to take the Independent 139s and make them into the 149s or 149s into 159s. You could even do this with any truck, Ventures. You can take a 5.8 and make it a 6.1. I think you get the idea. Thunders, of course. Yeah, so if you want that wider truck, maybe you got a new deck, you went from an 8.5 to an 8.75 or an 8.25 to an 8.5, and you just want that wider wheel, the wider wheel set, and more of the truck for your slashing, obviously just coping, rails, whatever it is. Just a quick, simple tip to make that happen. I'll show you right now. Alright, so here I have the Independent 149 hollows. Great trucks. And the way I'm going to take these 149s and make them 159s is simple. And it's just going to be adding these washers. Perfect size. I will get the size measurements and let you know, and I'll put those in the details below. I don't have it off my head, but what I did was take 2 of these washers and just slip it right over. See how they match up perfectly as well with the truck, with the hanger. And so let me show you the wheel before. See where it rests right here, and you don't have nearly as much of that truck in use. The wheel hangs over quite a bit, but check this out with the 2 spacers added. Look at that, you're executing your whole truck there. I got nearly a pinky on each side. More space on the hanger, making it equivalent to a 159. And I'll go ahead and show that to you, the matchup, because I have a pair of 159s on an 8.75. This is a crooked 8.5. And I'll show you where it actually matches up and how it actually made it a 159. And like I said, this will work with turning 139s into 149s, and every truck company, same thing. And one of my concerns actually was, would the washers cause the bearings to slow down? And what I noticed was actually it's almost like a speed ring in the way that it moves. Occasionally when it brushes up against it, you'll see the washer move. So I'm thinking it's just an enlarged speed ring, and it hasn't slowed me down so far with the use. I love this little trick, and since I have been riding bigger decks, it's honestly been great and money saving for me, so I hope it does that for someone else. Another little tip is there's a flat side and kind of a curved side to these washers. I don't know if you could see that. But what I did was place the flat side against the truck and the flat side against the wheel. And then I continued on with my speed rings. And I always do the flat side against the bearing with the speed ring. Wheel on. Oops, I'm moving this way. Speed ring, and I do the flat side against the bearing. And then what I did was take my nut and see how we don't have as much room to screw that on. A little tip that I kind of did with that was flip the nut around, and that way it was able to, you can see it right here, still be on there, and it's actually protecting the axle so you won't get that all grinded down when you're hitting curbs or ledges or whatever. And it's still flush with the board, which is cool. See, it does stick out a little bit, but in gaining that much extra room, I'm okay with that. And it widened up the way it feels underneath my feet, making it a little bit more stable. And I'll show you the comparison right now between the 159s and these. Alright, so now that I got all those nuts back on, let me show you it doesn't really affect my bearing at all. See, there's no drag or anything. I barely gave that a push. These are Bronson Raws, great bearings. But just kind of wanted to demonstrate that it doesn't, with that nut and those washers in, slow down or cause much resistance. So let me show you the 149s now at it with the washers compared to my 159s on an 875. And you'll see, so these are 159s. And let me match it up. So now, since you can see what I did with the spacers, see? Now the wheel's pretty flush with the edge of that. And you can see where the wheel kind of goes in and over, and you're losing a lot of truck that way. But now they are truck to truck, matched up. You can see that they're now even. The amount of space you get. And like I said, this can be done with any truck, any size, if you just want to go up a size. It is quite the handy tip, as I'm sure you want to save some money and get the most use out of your trucks. Thanks for watching, and keep skating.